Morning folks, it's the 18th of June today, 2 days since the river seas opened. I've joined the Whittlesey Angling Association, which is a lot of stretches rivers, so that's where I am today. I'm not going to tell you exactly where it is, just because I don't know if the club allows that kind of thing on social media, but if you're a member of the Angling Association in Whittlesey, you'll know it. There's no peg number, I don't think. Let me have a look. No, there's no peg number down here, but I'm going to set up. I've got 2 rods. I'm going to ledger method feeder like I normally do with pellets and wafters, and then I've got a whip with me, which I'm going to try. I've not tried it. I've not even had it out of the bag, to be fair. It's an old one, it's been there for ages. I'm going to try that, and we've got some luncheon meat, so I'm going to give that a go. Sat down on the swim now. As you can see, it's quite a steep bank behind, but I managed to get my gear down here. Yeah, let's spin you around and show you what I've got to work with today. So, this is the swim. It's quite weedy and pads near in. I don't know if you can see how clear the water is though. But yeah, it's a nice little stretch. Goes down that way as well. Right folks, one of the most unorganised trips I think I've ever done. I've not got any pellets with me, so I can't soak any pellets to put them on the feeder. I also haven't got any bombs with me, so I can't put a bomb there, so I've got to use a feeder as the weight. I've also, the 4 metre whip which I've got with me is not really long enough to get past this initial bit of weed and that, so that's a bit out. I've also not got any floats with me, except for this set that I've got, but they're not really ideal. That's more for a whip kind of thing. So all I've got is a little bag of 10mm pellets, I think they're 10 or 12mm pellets, my wafters, and I'm going to chuck it out. So I'm going to start off with, I've got the spike and wafters, special ones. So I'm going to start off with one of these on yoke. I've got the luncheon meat with me as well, so I'm going to cut that up in a while and use that on the spike as well, to see if that makes an awful lot of difference, but I'm not holding out much hope. This is my first session over here. It was a bit of a trial anyway, so like I say, we'll just see how it goes. It's a nice day, it's supposed to get really hot, so I'm not going to be fishing an awful lot today. Probably finish just after lunchtime, because it's going to get out to like 26, 27 today. So yeah, I'm going to chuck it out, see what happens. Oh yeah, I've got my bite alarm today. Just have to take a little look around and take it all in. Just casting a little bit upstream, just under halfway across it was. There is the occasional bit of grass and weed coming down as well. Yeah, we'll see how it goes. Another gadget I got from Temu, I got one of the neck fans. I've just had it on for a while. Really good. I'd recommend these. It is getting hot now though, because the sun is coming down this side, so I'm going to put it under the chair and catch up with you in a while when hopefully I've got a fish. Right folks, it is now 10:30. I think I've had to run the water for about an hour or so. I've had it in 2 different locations. It's a little bit further out. I was about 3/4 of the way across. It was a little bit more weedy there. and he's down the middle, so I put it back out in the middle at the moment. I'm going to give it about another 10 minutes or so and then try the luncheon meat. I did try cutting a bit up and it's quite bitty because it's just a cheap luncheon meat, it's not the real deal. As you can probably hear in the background, I've got a little tranny radio with me, just listening to a bit of music. It's really quiet over here, but there's no one. There's some guy fishing right the way down by the bridge that way, but he's quite a fair way down, so I won't be disturbing him at all. There's two swans just coming down over my shoulder. They're just outside at the moment, just behind my big belly. Yeah, it's a lovely place. Like I said, they have been caught up a couple of times with the grass coming down, but that can't be helped this time of year, to be fair. I'm just hoping it doesn't get too weedy over here. I know they do clear it regularly. These swims have been cut out. They cut out 10 along this bank over the last week or so to get ready for the open season 2 days ago. Ooh. There's loads of dragonflies around, butterflies, there's loads of fry in the middle down there. Yeah, it's just a beautiful place. And it's only 4 minute drive from the house. It's not far at all. So I've just seen the swans are heading down and they're heading towards me, which isn't good. They've got nothing for them. But also, they're on their own. There's no young with them. I know, obviously, it would have been a couple of months ago now. There you go, there they are. Would have been a couple of months ago now if they had me, but surprised not to see any. So I'm going to wind in a second because, you know, I don't want to catch any swans, so. Yeah, it's a little bit weedy. This is the issue I've had fishing with in the past, is just trying to avoid the weed. It's not easy when you're ledgering to avoid weed. But yeah, so anyway, I'm going to try the luncheon meat now, I think. So let's cut a bit more up, see if I can get a good piece to put on the spike and see if that can tempt. Right folks, so I tried the luncheon meat, didn't want to stay on the hook. It was coming off. The closest I got was as soon as it hit the water, it come off. So giving up on that. I've gone on to the spike and waffle again, but I've gone on to the chocolate orange one. They only do these 8 mils at the moment. I don't have plans to do smaller and bigger. I'd like a 6 mil really. Like I say, I'm only really fishing for small fish today, I think. But yeah, 8 mil spike and waffle, chocolate orange. I've tucked out probably just a couple of rod lengths. It seems to be quite deep in that area, whereas further out, obviously it comes back up again. So let's just wait and see what happens. I've got another couple of hours fishing, so right folks, 11:10. Not looking good, to be honest with you. I suppose it is more of a recce, to be fair. Like I said, I've not been down here before. I did have a lot of the wrong equipment, but that's on me. But again, I didn't really know what to expect when I got down here, so I may try 1 or 2 other little things in a minute, but yeah, it's not looking good as much yet. The sun is in and out of clouds, but it's still, even when it's in the clouds, it's still really hot out today. So I don't know if that's helped at all either. Maybe I should have come out even earlier. I didn't get out till later than, well, I got out when I wanted to, probably later than I should have done. But yeah, I'll catch back up with you in a little while. Right folks, it's now 11:15. I tried free lining, didn't work, but what it did do was create a loop around the back of the spool underneath. So I had to take it off, complete and utter mess. So I had to cut all the line off, take it apart a bit, and now I'm going to have to reset up. I did, however, just find the paddock waggler. So I'd literally set that up and cast it out, and it was when I started to wind back a little bit that I noticed that line wasn't going anywhere, and that's because it had all caught behind the spool and was creating an almighty mess. So now I've got to set this back up again. Like I say, this literally just sitting in the margin because it was floating out there while I was cutting everything up. But yeah, I'm going to set this up now. Hopefully get out and spend at least an hour or so with the paddock waggler. Right folks, I've had a couple of runs through. It runs through quicker than you think, so I'm going to cast it up and have another run through now. Might as well open the barrel. I've had no touches at all on either run through so far. Like I said, that plastic corn's probably a little bit bigger than what I want. A couple of maggots would be ideal really, but the float is actually going through quicker than the grass nut that's about. I suppose I've got it set to about 18 inches, between 18 inches and 2 foot from the float to the sweet corn. Yeah, no touches again. Let go a little bit further. This one seems to be going through a little bit slower than the last two for some weird reason. Yeah, no touches again, no. Get that grass off the hook. Let's have an eye run through on camera. Big clump of grass weed, well, this is weed, blanket weed coming through there, so I'll just leave that a second. Let that get level with me before I cast upstream a little bit. There's been a couple of fish jumping. There's one over there. But it's just the other side of that weed. No. I don't know if float fishing is really, if no float fish over here, I can only do it for a couple of hours at a time because it's a constant thing. It's not a chuck a float out and let it sit there. I don't get me wrong, I will float fish. I think it's a good way to fish on a river. But, it's quite quick. It's really despite what it looks like, it's quicker than you think. Oh, the splash early on was a cormorant. Just seen a cormorant, or sorry, a grebe. Just seen a grebe come up opposite with me with small fish in his mouth. So there are small fish about. Grebes all the way down there now. The distance they can travel underwater is, and the speed is pretty impressive at times, to be fair, despite the fact that what they're doing is taking the fish we want to catch. And I now have 3 swans coming back down this way. I don't know if you caught that on camera as well, the speed these swans are going. No, it's because the one behind is being a bit aggressive. He's stopped. No, it's still coming. I don't know if these two went into his territory and he's chasing them down, because they powered through them too. He's slowing down a bit. Well, he's coming again. Anyway, like I say, I've got another hour or so. We'll see how it goes. We're going to be float fishing the whole time, so I might change. Although I've not got any other way to put anything on the hook. But yeah, we'll see how it goes. Alright folks, as you can see, I've packed up now. It's 1:45, getting really warm again. I had about 20 or so runs through on the paddock waggler with the fake sweet corn. No bites at all, so I'm calling it quits. I've had a really good day, and I've only been fishing for 3 or so hours. And I tell you what, you forget how hard and how different river fishing and natural river fishing is. You've got your snake lakes, which a lot of people use now for match fishing and that, but for a proper river, the flows and there's so much different about it compared to commercial fishing. I mean, that's what I've been doing a lot of recently, is just fishing commercials. So it's definitely not over in rivers. I've joined the club this year, like I say. There's a dozen or so stretches of river around. I will be coming back to this one as well. I will be coming back to this one with the right equipment and the right bait. I don't think that helped today. Whether I would have caught or not if I'd had all the right stuff, who knows, but I didn't. So that'll be the end of that. Anyway, that's it for this week. Like I say, it's a short one this week because obviously it was a blank. As always, enjoy your own angling, and I'll see you again on the bank soon. Until then, take care.